to start with. First of all, we do not know what was last in our syringe. So we're going to be cleaning our syringe, and I would suggest drawing ethanol in it 3 times, wiping it off, and then going for a final sample. I've drawn a sample in. Notice the very small drop that is there. That's 1. 2. 3. Now the inside of our GC syringe is clean. It's ready for the sample. The actual sample size does not have to be real big. In fact, let us see what we get by putting in 0.1 microliter. I will wipe off any material that has come out the end. It tells us that our GC is ready to collect. And so now it's time to inject. Please hold the needle as it goes down through the rubber septum. If you do not hold it, it will bend, and our syringe will be useless. At the time you push the syringe down, you must also start data collection. 3, 2, 1.
Attention please for quick announcement. No JV girls basketball practice tonight. Again, no JV girls basketball practice tonight. The bus leaves at 4:39 for the varsity boys girls. No JV girls basketball.
What the GC is doing is sending this material through a coil. The coil will retain the material depending on the mass of the material, the size of the particles, and whether it is similar or dissimilar to the polarity of the material in the coil. What we call this time is the retention time. And we'll retain it in the coil and detect it as it comes out. Every material has a different retention time. We now see what the retention time is for ethanol. In fact, all 6 of these chemicals have a different retention time. That is how you are going to identify which material you have. Some of these materials will require the entire graph. This particular one does not. So as soon as the graph is flattened out, probably 4 to 5 minutes, we will stop data collection and move the graph to our data sheet. It looks like we have attained a flattening of the curve. So let us stop right here. And collect our peak retention time. The peak retention is at 1.47. If we look at the bottom of the curve, we have another retention time. It begins going up at 1.32 minutes. Those numbers we need. We'll stop the analysis and Right click, copy our graph. We'll go to our page, write down that this is the ethanol. That the retention time is 1.37 minutes. And paste our graph. By clicking on the graph, we get the resizing arrows. Click off, click back on, we can move this graph wherever we wish. And move on to the second, third, fourth liquids, and so on. When we have all of the liquids and the baseline data collected, we can then go to step 3 and test our unknown. With the retention time and graph of our unknown, we can match it with one of the 6 known materials.